think so. Yes. All right. So please, as always, let's be mindful and let's turn off our screens, computers. This will take about 15, 20 minutes, depends on how many questions you have. So who here has been to Amantani Island? Whoa, no one. Okay. So no one's, I guess, obviously, no one stayed overnight on the island. So, all right, so that's a view of the island. Has anyone been to Puno, Lake Titicaca? Oh man, all right. Island. So that picture, what you see, it's what you see. It's beautiful, like really blue lake. So that's a picture from the island. So what I wanted to do is first go over a resource that we all have, which is this Amantani infographic. Is this new for anyone? Has anyone not seen this before? You haven't seen it?
Nope.
You haven't seen it? All right. So I'm asking that question so I can be aware of how we need to organize ourselves better. So Amantani homestay is like a quick tool that you can have some key facts. For example, that's Lake Titicaca. They say it's the shape of a puma but upside down. I don't know if you guys see it.
Oh, yeah, the head's at the bottom.
Yes. Do we have the red thing? The pointer?
No.
Alright. So. Alright, so that's the head. That's the ear. Right? That's the first two paws, the last two paws, and the tail. So the Incas knew that, of course, and that's. All right, so Amantani Island, Puno's right here. Uros is right close to Puno. Amantani Island is right here, and that's Tequila Island. Right, so this is the border with Bolivia. Some key facts: it's super high, 3,800 meters. So if clients say, I want to go to Puno first, that's a terrible idea. It's almost guaranteed that you're going to get sick. They should always leave Puno for the last of their trip, after Cusco or after Arequipa, to minimize altitude sickness. It's the highest navigable lake in the world. So, Matthew, what do you understand by that?
It means like boats are on it. You can actually navigate across it. Because there's some that are like in the mountains.
Uh-huh.
You can't get a boat there. So.
Exactly. So there's a neat story. There's a hotel, I think the Sonesta, which has one of our, our only military boat there. It's the museum now. So that boat was actually bought from England. They brought it via steamship to Callao or to Arequipa, and they brought piece to piece all the way to Lake Titicaca, and they rebuilt the boat there. So it's pretty neat history. All right, so quick about how the tour works. Day one, you start in Puno. Then it's a 15, 20-minute boat ride to Uros Island. These are the man-made reed islands that people, I don't think they live there anymore. Unfortunately, it's become more of like a tourist site. I might be wrong. I don't think anyone lives there anymore. So you stay there for, I think, 30 minutes. It's a quick stop. And then you go to Amantani Island. So just note, there's a 3-hour boat ride from Uros to Amantani. So it's a beautiful ride. Ale, do we use the fast or the slow boats?
The fast.
All right. So there's a big difference. So 3 hours with the fast boat?
Mm-hmm. When you're doing Uros Island and Tequila, not Amantani, you use the fast boat.
Okay.
It shortens the time to 1 hour 30 per one.
All
So
right.
it gives you a little bit more time on the island.
Okay, so that's something else. The fast boat, of course, is more expensive. So if clients ask you why are you better than others, then we use a fast boat. So just keep in mind that the sun is burning, right? You're at altitude. There's less atmosphere, I don't know, but you get burned. So and it's very common to see a lot of really red faces when you go to Puno. People don't protect themselves enough. So you go to Amantani. You get there around almost around noon. Then you meet your host family They take you to. So I'm going to talk about the 2-day, 1-night tour. And this is not the full day at Lake Titicacas. This is only if you stay in Amantani. So you go to Amantani, you meet your family, and you have lunch. You stay in one of their homes. I have more pictures later on. Then you have after lunch, you can go to the top of the island where there's a party and there's some sunset views. And you go down for dinner. So it's pretty chill. So even if it's not a big hike, it's really challenging because you're at almost 4,000 meters. All right, so day 2, you wake up, breakfast, say goodbye to your host family, then you go to Taquila Island, which is the largest island. And same kind of example where you go from the dock, you go to the top of the island, and you go back down, and you have lunch in the middle. So this island the hike here is much tougher because it's a bigger island. If you can't do it, then you don't have to do it. I think there's an option where you can stay in the boat or stay nearby the boat if it's too much.
Is this the one with the steps? Right?
Yes.
Like following the steps.
Yeah, but they say they're not doing the steps, like not a whole bunch of steps anymore. So it's not going to be that complicated. It's still going up, but not too high. So they go to somewhat around it. So there's less steps.
So instead of going at that,
Yes. So if you should have access to this infographic in sales resources, check it out. It has more details about distance, more specific times. What to pack? Yes, sunglasses, comfy shoes. During the day, it's super hot. At night, it's freezing. So headlamp, yes, because the bathrooms are outhouses. So you're gonna have to go in the middle of the night and find a bathroom. So this is helpful. Cash, of course, there's no ATMs. Change, don't bring like $100 sodas bill. Have everything that you need, your remedy. And during rainy season, umbrella. So what you expect? Electricity is not guaranteed. Iceland life is rural, so there's no stores. Accommodation is very simple. I'll show you some pictures. So this is super cool, but the client needs to know what they're getting into. It might be like the coolest part of the trip or the worst part of the trip, right? Let's see, health concerns, high altitude sunburn, motion sickness. All right, so that's it with the infographic. Here's what I prepared. I'm sorry if it looks very simple. I just did this today. It took me a few minutes. So, and feel free to ask questions anytime. All right. So first thing is Puno. It's not a charming town. There's nothing to do. Some clients, they had the understanding that always it's better to be downtown because maybe there's stuff to do, restaurants. There's nothing. So if the client says, "Oh, I want to be in Puno," no, you don't. And there's some clients who we've received negative feedback that clients that stay in like hotels near the shore, and they complain saying, "Hey, downtown was too far away." So it's a question. It's a matter of explaining to them like, no, there's nothing to do there. It's better to stay in a hotel near Lakeshore. And so that's I think this is Honesta. So much better. Puno is cold. So this is this week. So check it out. During the day it's 17, 18, 19. At night it's 0, 1, 2. So big changes, right? Something neat is how the lake acts as a radiator. So, and I totally felt this when I went there. I slept in Puno one night, and I was freezing. You know, it's so cold I shower, forget about it. You cover yourself with blankets, you're still freezing. But then the next night when I went to Amantani, it was warm. It was super warm. I was like, whoa, what happened? It's really warm. It was so warm that me and my friend, we instead of sleeping in the room for a couple hours, we went outside and with our blankets and just looked at the stars and stuff. It was really pretty, and I didn't feel cold at all. And I asked why. It's because of this. During the day, the lake absorbs all the sunlight. At night, it radiates it. So I'm not sure if it's warm every night in Amantani, but that night was warm. So that's just a quick Google picture about the boats. That's how you can expect them to be. I'm not sure if ours are that way, but they're all very similar. Okay, Uros. So this is a picture of Uros. Kind of my take on it was it feels touristy and a little bit of fake. Still neat, but it's a quick stop. And I did this about 10 years ago, so if it was touristy 10 years ago, it probably is touristy now, probably more. You've been here, Lizzie?
Yeah, I went 10, 12 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you stay in Amantani?
No, but I wish I did.
Yes, and that's the thing.
Yeah,
If
I'd
you
go
go-
back.
Yeah, so I had took this picture so you kind of have a feeling of what the floor feels and looks like. So it does feel like it's squishy, it moves a bit. And that's something that's important. If your client is going to Puno, you have to mention that this is an option. If I were a client and I went to Puno and I would figure out on the spot, hey, I could have stayed in this island, I would have been really disappointed that no one told me. So you have to tell them. But of course, tell them that it's not for everyone either. So there's these kind of, I don't know how to call them, like these Totara boats that are designed for making like quick rides. So you pay 5 soles and they can give you a quick ride around the Uros. Inflation.
I take you from that place to the other island where they have like little shops. So it's like a little convenience store island.
Oh,
It has a little tower that moves where you can go like a couple of steps up and you can see the island on top. And they stamp your passport in that little island. So either if you want to continue on the boat or go on this, you'll still end up on the same.
When did you go there, Alec?
I think it was last year.
Amantani or
No,
Full-
I did.
full day?
Yeah,
Okay.
full day with the food.
So this is the dock. When you arrive to Amantani, this is what you see. The water's freezing. I actually jumped into the water, and it was super cold. You know how now, how do you call it in Instagram? That's very popular. Where you do something and it kind of
Ice bucket.
yeah. So basically, what I felt like I jumped into the water and I immediately jumped back outside of the water, kind of like I don't know, it's super cold.
Oh, the boomerang.
Yes, that. All
Why
right.
did you jump into the water?
From here, like from there, just
It's... What?
like from here, you can jump into the water,
Wow.
but it's super cold. So when you get, you can't choose your host. From what I understand, it's some hosts are better than the others. Some houses are better than the others. Some houses are better located than other houses. So I think this it's a bit of luck. So another picture of the dock. You arrive here. Your host family is waiting for you. It's kind of how it feels, right? The guests, the travelers, and the hosts. These are the rooms.
She's bigger than the
He looks photoshopped in.
It's comfortable. I mean, it really depends on your expectations and what you need for a good night. Totally doable, right? But yeah.
Her feet were probably hanging out of there.
Another room. These are the bathrooms, right? So again, running water is not potable, of course. Outhouses, you must tell clients. It's a showstopper for some people, right? They're not going to do this, some clients, so you got to tell them about it. While I was doing this presentation, I found out about this cool option. Look at that. Amantika Lodge.
We only have a couple of rooms. And the shared four, yeah, and the shared bathroom.
So I called Always this morning and say yes. I mean, they don't book that hotel. We would have to book it on our own. But the tour clients can stay there and still be part of the tour. So that looks super neat.
Is that like glass all around it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it not like really cold?
It has
It's
a
not that
chimney.
cold. Look at
That
that.
thing right there is a chimney. And
Oh, I
we
guess
have
I
a
could.
little like terrace outside where you can have
Yeah, so super neat. So maybe a client who wants to stay at Amantani but they don't want to rough it that much, that's the option, of course. So visit from the view from the islands. View from the sunset at the top of the island. So of course the food, it's good. It's kind of what you eat during the Inca Trails. It's the standard food that you eat while you're traveling through Peru. Quinoa soup. I believe that's trucha. I don't know what that is. Your cheese, your mate de coca. So part of the excursion is at the evening. There's like a party that the community organizes. So that's basically how it looks. It's fun. It does feel a little bit kind of reconstructed, but it's still fun. You know, they give you hats, give you ponchos, and you dance. I remember when I was there, this lady, you know, someone like her, she invited me like some homemade alcohol, like rum. And it tastes just like rubbing alcohol. That's basically what they drink. Pretty strong.
really help with the cold.
Yes.
At
Yes.
least.
So of course they sell beers, everything. Okay. Okay, that's basically it. Questions?
I have a couple of images. That's kind of the boat that I took, so it's very colorful and like it has this the boat I have on there. And those are like the pobladores that will indicate like what the little island is called. Like each island has their own family, so it's not like you choose what island to go to since they're corporativa of the town. So they indicate, okay, it's your turn to get these squares. It's your turn to that. That's how they distribute it. And here they show you also the fish that they get from the island. They show you in real time. So that's the ones that they fish. So the view is pretty amazing right there. So you'll see the boat that's going further ahead and you're going slow behind it. This is like the size of the boat inside. It has 2 seats on each boat. And the guide will speak Spanish or English or Spanish and English. And they have a bathroom inside. And they also have a seating space on top. Like little benches. So I was feeling nauseous on this trip because I was feeling sick because of the altitude. So I had to like sit outside and inside to get some fresh air because inside it gets pretty hot since everything is closed. And that's kind of like the view from the island. Like that's the key right there. It's a nice island, and once you get to the top part, you have like a great view from all over.
Definitely
That's kind of like
the views are amazing. It's definitely worth it. When I did this trip, I did like a backpacking trip. I went to Cusco, Puno, Amantani, La Paz, Uyuni, Arequipa, Colca, back to Lima. And this overnight was, for me, like one of the highlights, if not the highlight. It was one of my favorite part of the trip. It was super cool, and so it's totally recommended to do it. I personally feel like if you go to Lake Titicaca and you don't do this, you're missing out a lot. So for me, the best kind of scenario to go to Puno is to take the train from Cusco to Puno. So definitely always mention the train option to your clients. It's a beautiful train. You get to Puno, stay overnight in the island, either here or in the nicer Amantica Lodge, and then you really experience Puno the best way. There are other options in Lake Titicaca, right? There's the catamaran that departs from the Bolivia side, which I've done, which is beautiful as well. Have like the Swasi Island, which is a private high-end boutique hotel. It's a private little island. And you got other high-end hotels like the Titilaca, it's like a 5-star plus.
And if you decide not to do like the regular boat, you can always kayak if your passengers are like intense activity people. You can kayak. There's also like a new alternative that is not tested out yet. Like a couple people, they do like these floating bikes on the island. So that's new, but I haven't like. There's only one like, provider that does it, so it's practically new. But the kayak, I think it's a nice experience if your passengers are like already traveled through Cusco and don't want to do like a regular touristy kind of tour in or Uros Island.
Lizzie, when you did Taquile,
Yeah.
how did you feel the hike?
It was a long time ago. I was fitter. Yeah, I think I remember feeling it for the kind of duration. I was surprised that I was a bit out of breath and had to stop a little bit. But
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Questions, anyone?
When you went to Puno, like how long did you spend there after, like other than this night?
The night I got there, then so the first night was in Puno. I got there. The second night, Amantani. The third night, I think we went straight to La Paz for 2 nights.
Did you get any vegetarian food with a homestead family or some like food allergy or some sort of dietary restriction?
I believe it's possible, but you gotta prepare it well with the provider, as always. And keep in mind, there's no electricity, or maybe some houses don't have electricity. We've had issues that clients who travel with like a breathing machine, they've gone there and of course they've been like scrambling to figure out how they can connect their sleeping machine, the breathing machine. Yes.
Yeah. Wow. And like for example, if your client has a walking problem or they're a bit old and like, to walk slow, I wouldn't like, necessarily recommend doing a normal boat like a fast boat that gives them a little bit more time to walk. But just let them know that like it is squishy on Udos Island, so they'll feel unbalanced when walking around them. Because you walk just to go to the circle where they explain everything, and then you walk a little bit in that small island, and then you go to the other island where the shopping is. You can decide to stay on the boat, but then they would be missing out on the explanation. And I have like a small video of the show that they do in with Amantani.
Wow, you're there.
So that's how like they present everything and they show who's the town mayor, and then they do like that little dance, and then after that they put like all their souvenirs that they sell on there. So it's only cash. And most of the people had like 100 soy and bill, and they couldn't buy anything because they didn't. And I found here they have a little bit more interesting kind of handmade stuff instead of doodles. So if they want to purchase souvenirs, I think these will be more detailed in Taquile. So that little house over there is where you have lunch. So the vegetarian option, like the normal option was the brucha, and the vegetarian option was like a omelet. So it's not a whole lot of batter. You get those two options, papa or yuca, and a tomato and something very small. It's not a big dish. And there were a couple of people that didn't want to eat because they were like still out of breath from like going to walking. And after that, you go to the other side where the beach is. So it's cool, but it's a nice view from that part.
Other questions?
Do you know like how many people stay in the homestays, like in one homestay? If you're in farmers or something.
Yes, I think probably the average is each home has at least 1 or 2 rooms. So I'll say 2 or 4. Yeah.
Do you recommend it to children over a certain age, or if
I think it's totally good for children. Yeah.
Kids probably love it.
Yeah, it'll be fun for kids. All right, just one last thing about culture. This is not like the indigenous people. They're not Incas. They're actually the enemies of the Incas. They're Aymara, and so there's Incas and Aymara, and so they talk Quechua, but actually, when you say, "Oh, this is the Inca land," they're like, "Oh no, Incas were enemies." So there's a cool story about that, and in Taquila Island, it's the men who do the knitting, not the women. And there's a cool thing they do with their hats. Like if it's on the left side, you're single, and if it's on the right side, then you're married. So you learn all that when you're there. So you definitely learn a lot about the culture when you're there. All right, that's it. Thank you very much.